Way downtown, fooling around, took me to the jail. Oh, me and it's oh my, ain't no one to go my bail. It was late last night when old Willie came home. I heard him a-rapping on the door. He's a-slipping and a-sliding with them new shoes on. Mama says, Willie, don't you rap no more. Way downtown, fooling around, took me to the jail. Oh, me and so my, ain't no one to go my bail. Get him, Jack. Well, I wish I was over at my sweet Sally's house, sitting in that big armchair. One arm around my old guitar, and the other one around my dear. Way downtown, fooling around, took me to the jail. Oh, me and so my, ain't no one to go my bail. Get her, Michael. Like a man wanna pat his feet. Well, it's one old shirt, it's about all I've got, and $1 is all that I crave. Brought nothing with me into this old world, it'll take nothing to my grave. Way downtown, fooling around, took me to the jail. Oh, me and so my, ain't no one to go my bail. Way downtown, fooling around, took me to the jail. Oh, me and so my, ain't no one to go my bail. Let's all take it home. Jack, a few times, buddy, good buddy, I've wondered if we hold our picks alike or how we manage the hand or the wrist. I've thought about that some. You're awful quick with that thing every now and then.
Well, I think we basically hold the pick the same way. I like to curl my index finger a little, lay the pick in, and put a lot of thumb across the top of it, with very little of the pick actually extending beyond my fingers. I get a lot more control that way, and with all that thumb across the top of the pick, it doesn't slide around and go various places.
Now, I can tell you where I learned almost exactly the same technique. When I was just a young, well, I guess you could have called me a young buck. I was about 16 then. Me and my youngest brother cut wood for the tannery, extract wood, they called it, one spring. And I ordered a guitar, one of them little Silvertone jobs from Sears Roebuck, with my part of the money that we made out of that. And there was a little book came with that thing, and it showed you how to hold that pick, and it was just the way you described it, exactly. But I learned the hard way as far as wielding the pick. I use more elbow movement than I do wrist, and I don't know. How about you? How do you?
Well, I tend to play more from the wrist than the elbow. If you watch Doc, he does. He's got there's a lot of forearm movement when he plays. There's some with me, but for the most part, I do it a lot with my wrist. And Doc, well, as far as the way we hold the pick, it's a lot alike, but I noticed that Doc will extend the other fingers on his hands, and they kind of glide along the pick guard.
Just as a depth guide to keep me at the proper depth on the strings with the pick so I don't lose don't get disoriented, if you will, on where the strings are with that right hand. I have to touch this all along.
Well, I do the same thing, only I end up, instead of extending my fingers and using the tips of them along the pick guard, what I do is I tend to curl this part of my hand under, and my little finger and sometimes my ring finger nail will glide along the pick guard. And it's the same thing as Doc is saying. It's for a depth guide to know where my pick is, make sure the pick is making contact with the strings correctly. And also, in curling my fingers like that, it allows me, I tend to use these two nails on my middle and third finger on my right hand to play certain things. It could be the finger style type thing, or it could be just a note that I can't reach with my flat pick when I'm in the middle of a
Well,
phrase.
he's cheating. That ain't fair.
Well, you gotta get those things where you can, when and where you can.
I wondered how you did some of that crazy sounding things, boy. Letting us in on his secrets here. If that'll do for the guitar, let's ask Brother Michael about some banjo technique. What'd you do on that thing? Talk about that little dab, son.
Well, I was starting playing a little bit, I think I was trying to play a little bit like Sam McGee did on an old record he made with Uncle Dave Macon back in the 1920s. Kind of playing it a little bit like a guitar. Like that. Using the third and the fourth string as bass strings and just picking it out on the two treble strings.
And did I hear a little dab of frailing somewhere on down in that?
Well, now I was picking in the way, picking up on a note there and then brushing down and kind of sound a little bit like the old claw hammer style, a little bit like the style you use too, Doc. Dropping the thumb down to that second string every now and then, too.
That's some pretty good licks there.
Tell us a little bit about those fill-in licks that you do on the when you're holding a note on this song.
Way downtown, fooling around, took me to the jail. Yeah, you just jail. It's just a walk-up run. Part of it's chromatic and part of it isn't. Or
Coming back downstairs.
took me to the jail. It's a different kind of a thing, so you don't sound repetitious, backward, Took me to the jail. Oh, you come right back down on your four chord. Oh, all fits in one, and it's kind of a feeling. You don't, excuse me. You don't really plan those runs after you're very familiar with your instrument. Like it's kind of like whistling, second nature, and you get so used to the instrument, you can sing and think a little bit of what you want to say or something with the music. Your fingers automatically say it. It's kind of a feeling like if you're in an interesting conversation with somebody and you're expressing your exact feelings about a thing. Music works exactly the same way, I think, with your guitar, violin, banjo, whatever you play.
The break you did up the neck, Doc, on that. Could you do that slowly?
It's double stops. Uh-oh. Sounds Delmore-ish there. I may do that with variations at times if I get kind of carried away or almost lose it or something, I have to do something foolish to catch up.